Definitely wanted to showcase just some of the Town Hall 9 work that we've had, which is actually a good thing because, as you guys know, Town Hall 9 at the max level, it definitely requires skill. A lot of people don't realize that as you progress in the game, it actually gets harder, not easier. So we had a small adjustment. We actually went through a couple losses just because of some weird mismatches. Of course, with the matching system being all screwed up. But we're actually starting to bounce back, even though we had lost our Town Hall 11. And we have a new Town Hall 11 Rander. So hopefully we can groom him and get his heroes up. Just wanted to start this war recap against, I guess it was Chambord Castle. Pretty decent clan. What ended up being the difference was basically a couple Town Hall 9 hits. We basically held off most of their attacks up top. So that was the difference. Just gonna run through the Town Hall 9s because really and truly I didn't really do anything special on my hits. Alright, so starting with this is actually a bully attack. So probably won't need to showcase that, but good job, Rander. The Town Hall 9 start from here, and as always with the mismatches, we end up having to fight like 7 or 8 max Town Hall 9s, versus our 1 or 2, which is fine. We're actually at a point now, thank goodness, with Homewrecker's account and my account, where our heroes are upgraded enough to where we're actually able to, pretty much muscle any Town Hall 9 that we need to. A couple, minor, things that we might have to work on here or there, but overall, it's just all day long. We'll either run Shattered, Lalo, or Penta. It just depends on how hard the air defense, is to get to in the Archer Queen. As you guys know, with most raids, it's all about your raid objectives. And with Shattered, it's basically designed for bases where the Archer Queen isn't really accessible. The air defense isn't really snipeable. So you're going to use your kill squad, 2 golem kill squad with 4 to 6 wizards, a couple wall breakers if needed, jump spell, and your spells. I guess with the new dark spells, you can kind of mix that up to a certain degree. I'm old school. When I learned Laloon, it was all elixir spells only. So, I just used 3 raid spells the majority of the time. I have been experimenting. There is some flexibility in there, but you definitely need to upgrade your haste spells. So, Homewrecker just goes in, wrecks his base. Good job. 3 stars for the good guys. And that's pretty much it. Alright, so the next hit was my second account, my Town Hall 9. Pretty much more of the same with Shattered. You're going to want to try and attack in a straight line so that you can get to the Archer Queen as soon as possible. And you also want to be mindful of your funnel. Your king needs to be the last thing that comes down with your kill squad. That way the funnel gets set correctly and he doesn't end up taking a walk. Once you drop your golems, you set your wizards to break the funnel, Archer Queen. And then if you are scouting the base, I will say that it always is a little bit better if you can get good value out of the jump spell to use that wall breaker set to break in. However, if the value of the jump spell is such that you can drop it, access key objectives, as well as get into either the core or where you need to go, then drop the wall breakers by all means and bring something else. With this base, because of where the air defense, the second air defense was located, and the Archer Queen, I wall breakered in. And then from there, I actually used a heal spell to support the kill squad Something that actually I find works very well with higher heroes. So with this, the second air defense didn't end up going down, but it's fine because I was able to get the expo, and the queen ends up staying up this entire hit. So it's all about managing how you do your hound deployment. You're typically going to run 2 hounds on the first drop. So the way that you break it down is that you start your Lalo adjacent to the wedge cut out from your kill squad. From there, you're going to typically run 2 hounds on the first air defense, followed by a circular deployment with your loons. You do want to be careful because a lot of people approach Shattered Laloon the same way they approach Penta, or even Quad Lalo, Quattro Laloon. And it's different, when you do that big long line of loons, it's not the same for Shattered. You really need to get into the habit of the 2 loons per defense, targeting each individual defense that you're shooting for. Because of that, with Shattered, what you're actually doing is you're working each base section by section. So you're not releasing the entire army all at once, and you actually get to make the most of the strength. With the raid objectives, you're going to be trying to take out the Archer Queen, as well as an air defense minimum is what you need to get out of your kill squad. Usually, if you can get the second air defense, or an air defense and the expo, as well as the Archer Queen, if it's pointed, the expo is pointed up, then you actually pretty much tip the scales in your favor to where the raid is going to be more than likely very successful. But Homewrecker coming in sets a good funnel, and then from there it's just breaking into the base. 2 golems down, wizards out wide to break, Archer Queen. From there you drop the king delayed, jump spell in. Never want to drop your king too early. You want to drop your jump spell before dropping your king, so that way the golems can work their way into the base and the kings don't aggro on the expos and go down quicker than needs be. Secondly, if you can get your heroes to stay up after hitting your objectives and getting the 1 or 2 air defense and the expo, start your Lalo alongside the queen. That way you'll actually be able to save her, because it'll go from any defenses that are targeting her will be killed by the Lalo, and then she'll just be left alive, and then still be able to affect the raid quite substantially. So it's pretty much again circular deployment, 2 hounds on the first air defense, unless it's not targeted by an expo or heavy defenses, and then from there 2 loons per defense. You're going to want to drop the 2 hounds, loons, then rage, then go on to your last hound, which is typically the CC hound. Then you follow up with those loons. So your first 2 hounds and that section of loons basically accounts for 20-25%. You cut out that pie, that next wedge in the pie, and then the next hound, the next couple loons behind that hound, and the next rage spell, that accounts for another section. So how you want to think of it is that you have a full pie, and out of that pie, the kill squad takes out 25%. Your first 2 hounds and 6 to 8 loons takes out the other 25. The next hound and the next 6 to 8 loons takes out another 25%, and then you save maybe another 2 or 3 loons for that last 25%. Because what ends up happening is that the air defense that's left up, the hounds will work their way over to it, and by then the entire base will be gone. So it's pretty straightforward. Again, we run clinics with this stuff, and it's just rinse, wash, repeat. From here, you always want to attack into the queen, golems down, wizards down to set the funnel, Archer Queen down, try to get those buildings processed so the king doesn't go wandering. You get your wall breakers. Be careful with your wall breakers. It's very, very easy to have wall breaker fails nowadays, just because of the fact that people are mindful. They'll either put spring traps or they'll put little small bombs, which can take out a wall breaker at Town Hall 9 level. When you approach the clan castle, you want to get those poison spells down in anticipation. You don't want to drop them too far out. You want to drop them to where your troops will also progress in. Second thing is with the king ability, you don't want to wait too late. I know as you're learning the game, you initially try to use your hero abilities as late as possible, which the queen ability, by all means, use that as late as you can. But as far as the king ability, I usually try not to let my king drop below 50%, just so I can get his full rage bonus out of his life. So let's say the king is under aggro from an expo or even two, and his life starts to go down. If you don't rage his life early enough, he won't get the full 10 or 15 seconds that he gets out of his attack boost. He'll get maybe 4 or 5 seconds, and he'll die because you waited until his health was down to flashing red, almost down to maybe 5 or 10% before you hit the button. And then because of him still being under aggro from the expo, it ends up dying almost right away. So remember that, guys. The attack boost that you get from your king is so important because in a couple hits he can take out an expo or a storage. It doesn't take much. So here we have white going in with old school penta, which is so powerful, guys. You don't realize just how strong penta is, especially with the air buff. You get that CC pulled. Then you just use your heroes, try to take out the king and queen. The queen. Poison spell down in anticipation. Take out the queen at the same time. And then from there, you just want to be mindful of the air sweepers and attack from behind that. 2 hounds per air defense. And then you want to get your loons circled behind that. He did a line of loons, which is okay, but it's not going to be ideal. For high-level air attacks, you're going to need to get those 2 loons per air defense in order to fully maximize the loon efficiency. Either way, still was able to pull the 3-star out because air is so boss. You get the loons falling behind the hounds, and then the rage spells is just a carpet of destruction. So good job, White Light, taking out Town Hall 9, able to beat this clan, which is a fairly decent clan that we ended up matching against. So shout out to I guess Chambord Castle. Let me see if this was easy. Yeah, we're getting to that point where the base quality dips tremendously before we get into the Town Hall 8. So nothing special here, just more of the same. Running Penta with my smaller Town Hall 9. It's actually an 8.5. And then you just take out your objectives. If you can get the queen, you get the queen. If you can snipe the air defense, you definitely want to snipe it. But you have to try to take out 1 or 2 of those things, either the air defense or the queen. And then from there, it's just knowing how to deploy 2 hounds per air defense attack into the queen if she's still alive. You want to drop your rages such that they basically are over the first 2 air defense, but allow your loons and hounds to trail into the first air defense, and then you always save backside loons for the last air defense or 2. Here we've got Geo taking out another lower Town Hall 9, just using dragons, which I didn't know he used dragons on this raid too, but dragons, I usually don't fuck with dragons unless the expos are down. Nothing against dragons, but I kind of feel that sometimes there's like an X factor, and I'm actually a huge dragon fan, to be honest with you. Now that I think about it, I use Drag Lalo to farm with my Town Hall 9, and I use it non-stop because it's just the most efficient use of the in order to get Dark Elixir. So that was pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to showcase the Town Hall 9s this war. I did one heck of a job. So let's keep this shit going, guys. Good job, everybody.